Hi there, Karen Flaherty from Living by Human Design. Hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be talking about the gate 59, which is all about sensuality. Okay, so here we've got the sun in gate 59, which comes off the right side of the sacral, and it starts today, August 29th, and it goes until August 29th, which is actually, it's really the very end of today. Well, it's the very end of August 22nd and probably the very beginning of August 29th. So not, it's usually about 5, 6 days. We've also got the earth in gate 55, which comes off the bottom of the solar plexus. And because we've got the in let's see, Venus, we've got the gate 6, which is kind of going back and forth. It's retrograding. Almost all week, the 59 and 6 are both in. So the sun in 59 and then the 6 in Mercury, and that's causing, in Venus. And so that's causing the entire channel to be colored in, defined. And so we get the sacral defined as a result and the solar plexus defined. Now, the solar plexus is all about emotions, and some people are emotional. Half the world's emotional, half the world is not. And so this week, for those who are not usually emotional, we're going to feel a little more emotional. And that actually continues the entire week because it continues here. This 59-6 happens almost immediately after the 59 comes in. And so it'll be most of the week. And then the throat also gets defined. We've had the 22 in Saturn here for, well, actually it just started. And also what started was the gate 12 in Mars. And so between the two of those, we get this entire connection, which is called the channel of openness. And it's all about the 22 is about charm and grace, and the 12 is about caution. So it's both, kinds of ends of the spectrum there. And literally it goes back and forth because of this emotional solar plexus. So sometimes people can be very charming and sometimes they're not. And so it's kind of the back and forth there. But it does define the throat for all of us who don't have the throat defined. It's a lot of energy this week to have the throat defined, at least for a few days, until this 12 moves out of Mars, because that only lasts a few days. And it looks like it's only going to last a few days because the 22 is going to move out of Saturn. I guess it goes retrograde, so it's basically moving backwards from 1 back to the gate before that. So the 12 will stay there most of the week in Mars, but the 22 moves away. And so, but for a few days, we're going to have the 12 and the 22 defining the throat, which will give us more throat energy. And then over here, so by the 27th, we've got the 4 down here moving into Mercury, and the 63 has already been down in, well, it will be moving into Saturn. So that's where the Saturn moved to. So 22.1, as you can see over here, became 63.6. So it is retrograde. It's in a retrograde motion right now. So it seems like it's moving backwards. And so that's the way that's the way that planet's moving. And so with the Saturn being in 63, then it moves into, it defines both the head and the ajna. So with this channel of logic, we get the entire channel defined with the head and the ajna also defined. So if you don't usually have the head and the ajna defined, it'll feel like that, at least for a few days, where you might be a little more certain about things, or at least have opinions about things. And in fact, the gate of opinions is in also, so watch out for that. And that's been in the North Node for a while now. So those are kinds of the kinds of energies to expect this week. The sacral might, if you don't usually have the sacral, that'll give you a little more kind of work and doing energy. This 59-6, of course, will give everybody a little more of a sexual bounce in terms of just wanting to be together, be with other people, perhaps meet other people. If you're going on a new date, or having a date night with your current partner, it's a good time to do that, because it'll feel a little more exuberant, a little more energetic. And with the solar plexus being defined, of course, that will affect some people who are not usually defined there. And then, of course, the throat energy, that gives people like me who have an open throat more voice energy. And then that head najna energy will feel a little more definitive, or a little more definite, I should say, about their opinions and answers and things like that, and maybe even new ideas. Planets, as you can see, are still, including Mercury, are still retrograde, and so things are moving along, but it is a good time to go inward, think about what you want to do, think about those commitments from last week, think about new partners if you're in the market for a new partner this week. It's a good time to be having those interactions if that's what you're up to. So, and if you're, then have a good time with whoever you're with. So have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Be well.